Have you had the tragedy of Durge? So today we're going to be looking at the exploding, imploding, clone army eroding Durge from Legends. So to be honest, it's actually not really a tragedy. It's just more...
I'm glad you did.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
So Durge is a Jedi. You think of Jedi, you think of poetry, art.
Sunshine, flowers.
And then you've got Durge, and he's just like the heavy metal Jedi. He's animalistic, he's angry, and he's a lust for hunting bounties and killing Jedi.
I just have an image of him being like an angsty teen that nobody understands.
He is. He is 100%.
Okay.
I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I don't even know you, but I hate you too. And I especially hate you.
Nobody understands me. God.
He was born 2022 years before the Battle of Yavin, prone to bursts of anger that's completely against the philosophy and uncharacteristic of people. He eventually developed a love for hunting bounties, leaving his tribe, his planet, and beginning to study under the best bounty hunters he could find. Eventually falling under the tutelage of Jang, a Mandalorian bounty hunter who taught Durge everything he knew about hunting and combat.
But did he teach him to love? I doubt it.
Never.
I doubt it.
Eventually, Durge and Jang came across a scientist who offered to upgrade them with cybernetics and armor. Fearing becoming obsolete in their bounty hunting skills, Durge and Jang agreed. Durge was a difficult subject for the scientists as Jedi bodies continued to try to heal over the cybernetics. Once the two had recovered, the facility was under attack by Mandalorians under Cusp. They were after an artifact belonging to the scientist, who demanded that Jang and Durge defend them in payment for his work. During the fighting, Jang was knocked unconscious by a thermal detonator. Durge, now believing his friend and mentor to be dead, decided to chase down the Mandalore himself as vengeance. Durge then cuts a bloody path through the history of the Star Wars galaxy, fighting for the Sith on several occasions, including the new Sith Wars. In 132 BBY, Durge was hired to kill the then Mandalore as retribution for the genocide of the Ithilans 100 years earlier. In response, Durge was captured by the Mandalorians and tortured past what little sanity he still had. Durge eventually escaped, taking nearly 100 years to regenerate from it, spending around 60 years of that underground. Now awake and seeking his vengeance, Durge felt robbed, as most of the galaxy's Mandalorians had perished and their clans fallen into decline. Durge found solace facing the Grand Army of the Republic, fighting for Dooku and the CIS, as the Grand Army was made up of clones of the Mandalorian bounty hunter Jango Fett. So if he can't kill one Mandalorian, he will kill them all.
That is a very tall order,
Yeah.
but fair enough. In fairness, it would be very useful for his species to become bounty hunters because they can generate
Yeah,
or regenerate.
but they're all like, nah, I just want to write poetry and paint. You know what'd be great? Yoga.
He's almost like a useless superpower.
Durge really hit the Jedi radar at the Battle of Doom, where he and Asajj Ventress tested a new chemical weapon on the Gungan population of the moon of Naboo. The swamp gas weapon was very effective, brutally destroying the Gungans who came into contact with the gas. The next move was Naboo itself. In response, a Republic strike team consisting of Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Glaive, and Zul Zis.
Zul.
I am
Zul.
So this is kind of the first conflict with Obi-Wan, where Durge ends up killing a whole bunch of clones and then escaping. The next big entanglement, with the Jedi is a trap set up on
It's a trap.
Keta, and of course Obi-Wan showed up along with a team of 5 Jedi. That whole battle probably deserves its own video as well. It kind of would be too long going into the whole thing. But Obi-Wan ends up being the only survivor, and it just really shows how devastating Durge can be. The next and probably most famous thing that Durge has done is the Battle of Muunilinst. I say famous because it was in the 2003 Clone Wars episode.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's where I got introduced to Durge, and I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's so cool. And then they introduce you later on to General Grievous, and you're like, Durge who? But
Well, I do like General Grievous.
he's
General
pretty cool.
Grievous is pretty cool.
The 2003 Clone Wars General Grievous is scary. So at this, Durge commands an entire squad of IG Lancers. He was guarding the whole Muunilinst area for Republic attack because at this stage the Muns were large producers of droids. The battle raged and Durge kicked ass. Until that is, he came into contact with Kenobi. Kenobi destroyed Durge's bike and cut the Jedi in half. Assuming he was dead, he left. The Jedi, however, do not die.
They do not.
Regenerated. So he chased down Obi-Wan just as he taken over the Mun leader at Sand Hill's command center. But as soon as Durge busts through the door, he gets taken down by a whole bunch of clones. They just open fire at him and destroy his armor.
Oh.
Which actually gives him a wee bit of an advantage because now he's not kind of held in by his carapace. He uses these big arm swipes and basically takes people out. So he ends up trying to absorb Obi-Wan. So he just absorbs him into his body.
Just have an image of him just trying to like hug Obi-Wan, realizing he's not going to absorb him this way, then maybe trying to just nibble on him.
I was thinking like, you know, whenever Homer squeezes the penny and it just goes in.
Yeah.
So Obi-Wan gets absorbed in and then he just explodes out using the Force, and Durge is a puddle. However, the Jedi don't die. So Durge would regenerate and continue to carve his way through the galaxy in campaigns for the CIS, such as Operation Durge's Lance. The last we see Durge is nearing the close of the Clone Wars conflict. Durge and a black sun, Vigo, called Lord Zist, lure the Jedi, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker with their temptation of having the knowledge to allow the former to track down the Sith assassin, Asajj Ventress. Lord Zist tells Obi-Wan that Ventress is alive and that Dooku is sending her after his business associate, Dramakor, and the attack will happen over Maramir. Obi-Wan and Anakin arrive at Dramakor's ship, expecting to find Ventress. Instead, they are met by a bomb on the bridge of the ship.
It's a trap!
Which takes down Kenobi. Immediately,
Oh no!
Immediately, Durge reveals himself and pummels Kenobi, saying he's tired of ambushing him.
Yeah. Like at what point, like, do you just kind of...
This is the third time.
Yeah.
Interrupted by Anakin, using the Force to impale the Jedi with jagged metal. While this didn't really affect Durge, it served as a distraction for Obi-Wan to electrocute him from behind.
Shocking, isn't it?
From here, Obi-Wan runs off to look for clues as to Ventress's whereabouts, while Anakin took on the Jedi alone. Being completely overpowered by the prowess of Durge, Anakin was able to use the Force to send a wave of explosions planted by Durge earlier back at the Jedi.
Here's one I made earlier. Surprise!
So this destroys his helmet and sent him into an animalistic fury. Anakin, using his cunning, then directed the outburst from Durge into a nearby escape pod, where he trapped the Jedi and sent him into the closest sun.
Nice.
Yeah. So if that's not going to kill you, nothing will.
Did you order original recipe or extra crispy?
Well, that's about all we have time for this video. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and take a look at some of the other videos at the end of this one.
Don't tell me what to do.
Or don't. I'm not your dad. Bye.
Bye.